Eu tô aqui, fica tranquilo. O pai chegou.
In no moment you've ever wanted this fight to be in Brazil. You never mentioned Brazil. Don't worry, Daddy's here.
Brasil, São Paulo, doesn't matter where. Doesn't matter.
What's up, guys? It's Showtime Fight Form, where we talk all things fights. I am your boy, Showtime. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Follow me on all social medias at Papa Showtime, Josh Showtime, whichever one you find. It is what it is. Now, let's get into this, y'all. This is potentially, I'm not gonna say it is, potentially the freaking card of the year. All right, and thank you, Lord, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and I do mean that. I am a devout Christian. I am so happy nobody major got hurt. And we are going to see this card in full because we already know how MMA goes. It's ridiculous. People get hurt every single day. And granted, knock on wood, because you never know. You've seen Tony Ferguson and Habib, people pull out the day before, things like that. Let's hope that don't happen. And then also we can even bring up Charles Oliveira's last fight where he missed weight, which is ridiculous. Let's hope there's no debacles and let's get this thing going. Now, I am a little salty because with a fight like this with so many bangers in one card, this needs to be at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. I'm sorry, man. This is an American product. We need American time. We need it at 10 p.m. All right? I finished watching our football or whatever it is. Granted, I'm still going to watch this over football, but just yet still, I don't want to have to choose. The fight card starts at 2 p.m. And then, well, the main card, the actual card starts at 10 a.m. Not for, I mean, I like waking up to fights, but not a big fight like this. This is something I need to be, already have my day planned and chilled, and now I'm just out here just ready to eat some barbecue wings and then sit here and just watching these dudes throw hands and kicks. All right, it's whatever. It is what it is. Abu Dhabi, you got lucky. Now, we already know the main event. The main event is going to be Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev. And it's a fight I cannot wait to talk about later, but that's a crazy main event. One of the most anticipated main events, honestly, in a while, because I'll explain why later. But we have so many other bangers. We got TJ Dillashaw versus Aljo for the championship. And then we also have the random, but the fight that I'm so excited for, which is Deshaun O'Malley versus Peter Yan. And then we also have freaking Beneil Dariush versus Gamrot. I said Beneil, yeah, Beneil Dariush versus Gamrot. And then we also have Sean Brady versus Bilal Muhammad. I mean, it's a card for all the cards, okay? And let's just go ahead into it, because like I said, I don't want to keep these things too long because it's span ain't the race. But I'm hyped, okay? Now, the first fight I want to talk about is going to be the feature prelim that very well could have been in the main event. Not the main event, I'm sorry, no. It very well could have been on the main card, and it probably should have, but I understand how UFC layers their fights, which they do it the smart way. You want to have these, you don't want to have all your top fights on the main card. Sometimes you put them on the pre-card, you get the casuals interested in the fighter. Now, the only thing I would say is that with this potential fight, I don't necessarily know if this is the kind of fight that I would want as a feature prelim, just for the simple fact that I don't know if the fight, how it will play out, will really gain either one of the winner fans. Just because Bilal Muhammad, in reality, he's not an entertaining fighter. Most people don't find him entertaining. All right, he's also not much of a finisher. He's a decision guy. He's very good, don't get me wrong, and I really love his personality outside of the ring, or the octagon. But as a fighter, his personality in the ring is just not as good as his personality outside of the ring. Sean Brady, undefeated prospect. Now, I really believe that he's the reason why this is a feature prelim, because they want to build him up. He's undefeated, he's from Philly, great personality, and also he does have some dog in him. Sean Brady is pretty good. He's pretty well-rounded everywhere. I remember distinctly him being known for his grappling, but he's a very good stand-up artist as well. Bilal Muhammad is the same way, honestly. He's very good everywhere. He's just not, in my opinion, elite anywhere, which is still fine, because if you're good everywhere, that means you can exploit people who have holes, because most people have a hole. Like when he fought Wonderboy Thompson, what was his hole? Wrestling. Took advantage of it. Now, if you're a grappler, he normally can withstand takedowns, and then he can chop you up a bit on the feet and end up getting a decision win. So it does have its perks. Now with Sean Brady, he's really good everywhere too. And my thing is, I think that he's actually better than Bilal everywhere. Now we'll see But I don't think this fight is going to play out on the ground too much, because I think Sean Brady will be a threat, or too much of a threat for him to really care to do it. And if he does, I think he'll be able to get back up. I think it will be a stand-up fight, which, if we want to go off style, Bilal likes pressure, all right? He is very good at pressure. He can take a lot of damage, has a great chin, but he does not. He wears on you. He wears on you, period. Great cardio, great gas tank. This man is, and really good pace. Now I can see him, even though it's a 3-round fight, I can, because I've seen Sean Brady get tired. I can see him not necessarily breaking him, but I can see him wearing on him, put him against the cage, beating him up a little bit. When I say beat him up, I really mean Peter Patters, but still causing enough damage to steal away rounds. Now, I'm gonna go against the grain of what I just said and say that I think Sean Brady's gonna win, but I think he's gonna stop him. I think that he's gonna knock him out, and we're gonna see an arriving of Sean Brady. And it's gonna have another new contender at 170. But here's the thing, whoever wins this fight is very close to a title shot at 170. So I'm excited for it. It's a really good fight. Can't wait to see it. Now, the next fight is the first fight on the main card. That is going to be Caitlin Chookagian. I'm sorry. I don't know why I botched that up. Chookagian versus Manon Font. What is it? Fiorot. I just know she's French. All right. It's not just what I know, but I'm not good with names, man. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. But all right, here's the thing. Kaylin is a karate girl. All right. She is not a very good grappler. She is a point striker. She's not really a person that's gonna finish you on the feet, but she can score enough points to win a decision. Now, here's the thing. Now we want to talk about the French lady. All right, Fiorot. Strong, very strong, great striker. She can knock you out. Now, she's a big girl, man. Very, very strong, good striking. I believe she came from Muay Thai or kickboxing. And I mean, we're starting to see a lot of these French people come in, and I ain't say a lot, that's a little bit of exaggeration, but we're seeing some of these French fighters come in, and they're very, very talented, and they have very good striking. And we already know Ghana is like the staple of that. I do think that this is a fight where Fiorot's gonna honestly pick her apart. I think she's gonna land the tough blows. I see her finishing her with a body shot. I think Kayla's very long, lanky, has a big, I can say big body, but she has a long body, easy target. She's gonna try to keep her distance with her kicks like she always does, but I think that a person of the skill and experience in the stand-up department, like Fiorot, is going to be able to eventually pick her apart and land that crucial body shot that will get the finish. And then we gotta have a new contender, because we desperately need one in that weight class, because there's none. There's really none. I'm sorry, but there's none. So yeah, now the next fight, the fight that honestly most people are gonna be there for, like the casuals, the people that are gonna actually watch at 2 p.m. are coming to see this exact fight, and that is Peter Yan versus Sean O'Malley. Simple and plain, O'Malley has fans. He has a lot of casual fans. Like, it's the swag, it's the hair, it's the weird confidence that he has in himself, but also there's a lot of brilliance in his striking, a lot of brilliance in his technique. So it's gonna be a fun fight, but at the same time, he is fighting possibly, can't say he is because he doesn't have the belt no more, but possibly the best 135-pounder in the world. And Sean, while I've seen him improve, I also don't know what I've seen yet. Unfortunately, the fight ended the way it did in his last fight versus Pedro, but we didn't really learn anything in that fight. Simple and plain, still doesn't check leg kicks. He's still, like, you know, when he goes against the upper echelon, he doesn't get those beautiful flash knockouts. We've seen that Pedro honestly was winning. He won the first fight round. Second round was kind of not going his way, but it wasn't by a lot. It still was anybody's round by the time the fight was going. And then we already know what happened when he fought Cheeto. So it's a very interesting fight. It's a fun fight. And here's the thing, Sean O'Malley can win this fight. He's a dynamic striker, and we know Jan likes to strike. And he's the taller, lankier guy, and he has very creative. He can catch. Here's the thing. I'm telling you right now, I'm not picking Sean O'Malley to win this fight. But to say that he has no chance of winning is straight ignorance. He has a chance to win because he's so dynamic on his feet. He does have power, and he does have creative kicks, and he can and also, here's the thing, Peter Yan is a slow starter. He's a very slow starter. So who's to sit here and say he doesn't start off slow and then he ends up getting caught with something very crucial? It's possible. Very, very possible. So I'm putting, I'm saying all that to say, we already know Jan, he's elite everywhere, in my opinion. There's not really too many flaws. He clearly got taken down by Aljo. However, it's not an easy thing to do. And when you do take him down, he normally gets right back up. So in stand-up department, he starts off slow, but when he picks it up, he's accurate, he's strong. I mean, his footwork is great. He picks angles really well. It's not a flawless fighter by any means. I'm not saying he is, because he just lost. But the guy doesn't have too many. So I'm definitely picking Peter Yan to win, and I'm gonna pick him by stoppage. I think he's gonna knock him out. I think Sean O'Malley is going to feel confident when he shouldn't. He's gonna step in when he shouldn't, and he's gonna get caught with a straight right, and it's gonna hurt him bad, and it's gonna knock him. I mean, and it's gonna knock him down, and I think he's gonna get finished that way. I think this is, I'm not gonna say it's too far up his, or too quick, because he's been in the UFC for a little bit now. But this is a big step up for him, and he's fought nobody even close to a Peter Yan. So now the next fight will be, whoever wins this fight is gonna fight the winner for the next fight, which is gonna be Aljo versus TJ Dillashaw. Two wrestlers are fighting each other, and guess what? More than likely, this fight is not gonna be a stand-up fight. This is gonna be, it's not gonna be a grappling fight. It's gonna be a stand-up fight, more than likely. TJ Dillashaw, we already know he is a top-notch wrestler that somehow became an even better striker than he is a wrestler. And then we already know with Aljo, he's once again a top-notch wrestler who has developed his striking to be very competitive and very good versus anybody. Now, we all know Aljo is fast-paced, very long arms. Probably has the longest arms in the division. Loves to keep his distance, but then when he doesn't want to keep his distance, he's a grappling fanatic. He loves to take shots, loves to single legs, loves to push you against the cage, but he loves to pressure. Spam, 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 spam. My cardio is better than yours, and let's see what happens. Now, if we want to go who's better at what, striking is pretty, in my opinion, easy. That's TJ Dillashaw. Now, we want to go off of cardio. We can still, I'm honestly going to still go TJ. However, you know, the EPOs and all that stuff kind of makes me say, like, maybe it's not. Maybe actually it's Aljo. But I've seen Aljo gas. Now we go off of wrestling. Offensive wrestling. I'm actually going to pick Aljo. Aljo, even though maybe his percentage might not be as good as TJ, he's more effective because he honestly implements it more. TJ is honestly not much of a wrestler like he used to be, but he's a stand-up artist now. That's what he does. He likes to throw hands and kick. He likes to throw kicks. He loves to use his footwork to set up amazing kicks that eventually catch you. Defensive wrestling, I'm gonna go TJ. TJ's a hard guy to take down, and if you take him down, he's literally getting back up. It's just that simple. Aljo, I've seen him taken down and pretty much controlled a couple times. Now, we want to go off of not grappling, but submission game. It's Aljo. Aljo's he's a grappler. He's great. Them chokes and them long arms, he knows how to use them. It's to his advantage. Now how I see this fight going is 5 rounds. Okay, I can see this getting a finish, but if it's a finish, it's gonna be from TJ. TJ can catch him with something crazy, and the fight will be over before we know it. Athletically, they're very close, but you know, we'll see. TJ, in my opinion, is declining. This is also my opinion. I don't see TJ being the best version of himself anymore. I think it's downhill from here. People gotta remember, he's like older than, I believe he's either the same age or he's older than freaking Jose. So like, TJ's pretty, like, he ain't old, but in MMA years, he's pretty old, especially for that division. So I mean, don't be surprised if Aljo does pull off. I'm not gonna say upset because I don't know the numbers, but I would assume TJ is the favorite. But if he's not, don't be surprised that Aljo retains his belt, because Aljo has all the components to be able to do that. He can wear on TJ. He can possibly take him down and be able to get a choke, or just be able to hug him, make it dirty, or just be the more aggressive fighter and not let TJ off on his footwork and also his kicks. So, like I said, who am I picking though? And new. I'm gonna say TJ Dillashaw is gonna win. I do believe that if, as long as this is still a good version of TJ Dillashaw, he is still too good to lose to Aljo. And that's just because I think Aljo's still a little too one-dimensional and can't mix it up well enough to be able to beat TJ Dillashaw in a 5-round fight. If it was 3 rounds, maybe, but 5 rounds, I just think that eventually he's gonna get figured out. He's gonna wear himself out, and TJ is gonna get the finish. I think TJ is gonna get a 4th round finish, whether it's from a head kick or it's from like an uppercut from Aljo taking too many shots, or knee. Now, the last fight, the fight that I'm so hyped for, I'm so ready for, I'm a little nervous for because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm a big Charles Oliveira fan. He's one of my favorite fighters in MMA right now. I always say I'm so happy about how he won, his story, everything. Now, he's going against his toughest bout. Yet, we don't know how good Islam Makhachev is. That's the thing, we don't know. He could be every bit as good as Khabib, or he could be honestly a fraud. We don't know, but we damn sure. Oh snap! Actually, I missed the fight. What am I talking about? Let me just go ahead and be real quick because I'm already at 15 minutes. All right, so we're gonna have Gamrot versus Beneil Dariush. Gamrot is a very well-rounded fighter and very good at striking, has very good takedown defense, and can use his wrestling very well. We've seen it in his last fight. Now, Beneil Dariush honestly was at one point, in my opinion, just a striker, like a guy that could wrestle, but he liked to throw hands, and he would get slept sometimes, but he would also sleep you, like the person you really want to mess with. Now he's been on his winning streak. He's honestly become a grappler. That's really what he does now. He's not the most exciting fighter as he used to be. He used to be very exciting. That's not his game anymore. He's more of a wrestler. Now he's going against a guy that also is really good at wrestling and also good at takedown defense. I'm going to go Gamrot because I think he's the bigger, stronger guy. I think he's the more youthful guy, and I do believe that the pressure and the amount, I think he's just an overall better wrestler, not to mention that as well. And I think he's gonna be able to beat him up, and I think it's gonna be a unanimous decision by Gamrot. Now, let me go back into the championship fight, because that was the one I really should have been talking about. Now we know, Charles Oliveira, what is it, the most finishes, the most bonuses, I mean, whatever you could think of, this man has. He's still young, he's 32 years old, so many more records to break and extend. And he's fighting a guy that we really don't know what to expect, except for guys who are very confident in Islam's game. Islam is a guy that has decent strikes, but he's not really that great. But we know his wrestling, as far as takedowns, are amazing. His submission game is amazing. His top pressure is amazing. He's not as good as Khabib when it comes to the wrestling department or the top control. However, he is still an elite prospect when it comes to that. Now, Charles, we know people don't like to take him down because of the very reason I just said. He has the most finishes / submissions. Islam's not gonna be scared of that. He's going to go in straight for the takedown. I'm interested to see, what is Charles gonna do? People want to say that Charles don't have takedown defense. We have to remember that he don't have takedown defense because he doesn't care to get taken down. It's a difference. If he don't care, he'll let you take him down because he feel like he can sub you. Now, I'm interested to see, does he want this fight on the ground because he knows Islam is tough on the ground? Or do you want to keep it standing because he'll have a distinct advantage on the feet? So we'll see if he either, one, uses takedown defense, or two, he doesn't. And he said, I don't care, I'll still sub you too, because that's how confident I am this year. Not 10 years ago, right now, I'm gonna show you how confident I am. So I think if it's on the feet, easy work. Charles Oliveira is gonna knock him out. Too much pressure, too much power, just way too accurate for Islam on the feet. Now on the ground, it's a gambit, bro. I don't know. I really don't. It could go either way. Like, I've seen Charles Oliveira get ground and pounded. I've seen him be controlled. But however, it ain't happening anytime soon. That was a while ago. That's a hard guy to do that to right now. He's tricky. He wastes a lot of his energy because he goes for so many subs. Who's to say and say he doesn't catch Islam? I mean, shoot, Dustin Poirier almost submitted freaking Khabib. So it's definitely possible that he can get a sub versus Islam. Now, if you ask me, Josh, who do I think is gonna win? I'm going to say right now, put it on stamp, that's gonna say, and still, even though it's not really and still because, you know, he got his belt stripped. But like the man said, there's only one champion and his name is Charles Oliveira. And if he loses, I mean, hey, it is what it is. We got a new dog and we'll see how well he does. But at that 155-pound division, we already know. Charles Oliveira only got too many more fights before he gets his belt taken because there's just too many dogs in one daggone basket. So I want to hear what you guys think. Who do you think is going to win? And how excited are you for this card? Because this card is going to go fuego. And I'm mad I took 20 minutes to do this, but it is what it is. It's just, I'm excited. I hope you guys are as excited. But as always, man, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow me on social media, make this thing bigger. And just keep supporting, man. I honestly appreciate everybody who chooses and watches all my videos. Thank you, man. Make sure you have a blessed day.